Hi, I'm Shula Mussnug, here to talk about ironing, a favorite subject of mine. The first thing that I might suggest is that you need a good hot iron. And looks like Pam's got a really good one right here. And a couple of things that I want to talk about being comfortable when you iron. One of the guidelines that I read was that you should be able to stand at your ironing surface and your elbow, when you're folded up against your body, needs to be 4 inches from your surface. Now, that was news to me, and I looked at mine and measured it, and sure enough, it is about that. It's not, certainly, so this is what works for me, you know, and use your common sense, use those caveats throughout this conversation. Another question that comes up in ironing is, do I use the steam or do I not use the steam? For some things I use steam and some I don't, some I spray, and most of the time I don't use steam because I don't put water in my irons. My irons don't seem to tolerate whatever water I have, and after a few months they're no good. So I simply use a spray bottle of, this is water most of the time, and then my standby is I buy this by the 12 in a case from Amazon, and then this Best Press is a favorite of many people. Now what I'm going to talk about next is setting your seams. When you set your seams, you don't want any swishing of the iron. You want to take your iron, set it down flat, and then pick it up. And this is the way you do this, and you do this because the fibers in your fabric will expand and contract with heat and allow the threads to go in between them. It's like when you put your jeans on in the morning, you bend over and stretch your jeans out. It's the same principle. The heat makes it expand and contract your body heat and the iron. The next thing you do when you start with your your block that's done, is you've got it flat, and I move it out and I finger press it. One of the videos I watched said, don't massage it, just finger press it. And then take your iron, move the dark, if you press into the dark, which most of us do most of the time, put your iron down on the light side and push with the side of your iron. And hold it there, and then don't use the tip of your iron because that seems to sometimes make divots in things. And then I generally take a stack of my blocks and I set them aside with a ruler on top, and then I put something heavy and let it cool, and it makes it stay flatter. This was a tip I got from another source. I'll have to remember and let you guys know. And then if you press into the dark, that's fine. You've got your seam here. It seems to be the consensus that this is a stronger seam than it would be if you opened the seam out. However, many of us do open our seams out, and I do as well. Some things just call for it. And if you're going to do that, press to the side, I do use a smaller stitch because it seems to make it a little bit stronger. But if you press to the side, your 2.0 or your 2.5 is just fine, side stitch. Okay, now then, as far as sewing strips straight, I found this. I didn't find much information on that, and the best information I found was watching Donna Jordan on Jordan Fabrics videos, and she will sew hers together the whole length of the width of fabric, and she sews them together. She sews one seam this way, and then she sews the next seam this way, and then she presses them to the side and puts them on a big table. They have those big tables there, and with a 4-foot steel ruler, and she pushes it against that ruler to make sure that it doesn't have a bow and that it stays straight as she presses them. She presses 2 at a time, and then puts the two together, and then she presses two more at a time and two more and puts those together. Then she puts the four and the four together. So that was her recommendation, and since I've not done it, I don't, it seems like it works for her. I think she's a magician anyway. Some of the sources that I used, one of them I thought was an excellent source, and that was Just Get It Done Quilts. She was very, very good, and cute too, for that matter. It's a quilt shop, I believe. And she was the one who gave me the information on the grain. When you swish and push with your iron, she had this picture that she used. Can you see that? And the picture was the dark lines are the grain, and she says when we push with the iron, we tend to get these fat fibers going in the wrong direction. So that's why you don't want to pull and push with the iron, as swish around with the iron as much. I thought that was interesting. I had not heard that. Okay, all for now.
Thank you so much, Shula. Appreciate your
I enjoyed
help with
it.
that. Lots of good information. Thank you.